Welcome to our live event. I'm Monique Schreiber from Slate Lite. I'm in sales. This is Mr. Marius Ehrlich. He's my boss and technician here at Slate Lite. And today we want to show you some products we sell and produce, and tell you a little bit about the products, how they're made, how they were created, and how to work with them.
Okay, so let's get started with some of our main product lines. We'll begin with Slate Lite. That's practically the main product in our line, which was also the first product developed in our line. The product is based on fiberglass, but of course always a natural stone surface, and it's thin and flexible like a veneer. The next product which we have in our range is the Ultra Thin Plus, which is also a stone veneer but based on a cotton-based backing. This product is mainly used in interior areas, not wet areas, due to its composition of cotton and PVA backing, which is not 100% water resistant. It can be rolled very tightly, it can be post-formed three-dimensional. And as another product highlight in our range, we have the translucent material. I'll show you right here.
So this is the Slate Lite, the translucent Slate Lite, when you don't backlight it, so it just looks like a regular veneer. Maybe we should move it a bit so Instagram can see too. A little bit, but I guess that will do. So this is the blue light right now. We actually have panels that can change colors, but I'll show you a regular warm light, which might be a yellowish type of light, a little bit lighter. Yeah. This is our falling leaves, one of our most popular Slate lights we sell. Also very popular in translucent.
Correct. Translucent can also be used indoors and outdoors, depending on where you want to use it. And it just brings nice accents to applications which you've done. If you combine it with normal Slate light or just do an accent wall just in translucent, both can really bring life into the room, which it's applied to, or the space which it's applied to.
Yeah, so what's the difference between the normal Slate light and the translucent Slate light? Like, why can you backlight this and not the other one?
Well, I can show you. In the normal case of Slate Lite, you'll have, of course, the stone surface, but you have a tinted backing material. So it's a fiberglass reinforced resin, which is colored to make sure that no light comes through and UV protected, so it can be used indoors and outdoors. In the case of translucent material, however, you can see the difference in backing is you have a clear UV resistant backing material, but also flexible material, not quite as flexible as the Slate Lite, but flexible enough to do columns or other applications.
Is the Echo Stone Ultra Thin also available in translucent?
Yes, actually we do have a special version of the EcoStone or Ultra Thin Translucent. It is also translucent. What you have to keep in mind is that the backing material is made with a cotton mesh, which is not the case with the normal translucent material that's a fiberglass. Glass, of course, is transparent. The cotton mesh is not transparent, which can make it visible depending on the type of light source or the thickness of the stone on the surface.
Interesting. Okay. Where does Slate Lite come from? How is it produced? How can we, how can I imagine that a stone, which is, or rock, which is normally very hard, how it can be flexible that way?
Well, actually, it was a coincidental invention. Mr. Gunnar early in the late 80s was producing tabletops in South Africa. These tabletops, at one point, one of the tabletops came back because there was a chip tile on it. So through the way of production, a negative form, so we lay out the tiles, foam them with a polyurethane, and then put an OSB board on the back so that you would always have, when you flipped it over, a straight surface.
Okay.
And with this type of system of producing it, it was much quicker in production and could produce quite a few tables in a very short time. But one of these tables came back from a customer that had a chip tile. So he decided to go ahead and save the rest of the tiles and started pulling them off of the OSB board. And voila, he had a thin layer of stone on the OSB board.
So you just rip the stone off like a layer?
Exactly.
Ah,
So
okay.
it kind of has to do with the type of material which is being, or which was originally produced, which is slate. It's a layered stone, so that made it possible to even have this process work.
That's really cool, actually, because it was very coincidental. So, where do we produce this?
We have multiple production sites, so we don't produce in Germany. We do all the research and development here in Germany, new developments of new products, new stones, sourcing of new components to make the product even more green than it already is. But our main production sites are in India and in Morocco.
All right. Do we have any questions yet?
Okay, so maybe now I can show you how this process is being done, so that you get a better feeling for how we do the production of this type of material. So what I've done is I've prepared a slab of stone. I'll show you the back side. There we go. Which is our arcobaleno colore material. And you notice it's heavy. So this is a 60 by 30 tile. Of course, all the materials which we have in production are quite a bit larger and also heavier. So what we do is we actually apply the backing material in liquid form, reinforce it with fiberglass, and after the drying period, we can pull on the edge, and you'll see what happens here.
Oh.
So you practically get a mirrored surface of the stone which you apply the material to. This process is the same practically if you use the standard Slate Lite material, if you use the ultra thin or Go Plus, or the UV translucent.
Okay. So is this production possible with every type of stone or only with slate?
Actually, it's possible with a multitude of different types of stone, but I wouldn't say it's possible with every type of stone.
Okay.
There are many types of stone that are just too hard to do this process, and it already becomes quite a bit more difficult when working with stones which are not layered. So if we're not talking about a slate or a mica which is layered, then it gets quite a few steps more difficult than the standard production of slates.
Okay, which also means they might not come out as flexible as the slate.
Well, it has less to do with the flexibility. Of course, there are some grades of flexibility or some variations in the flexibility, which you always have to keep in mind. But on the other hand, it has more to do that no stone will come off of the block. It's a block or slab.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, so what type of decors do we have?
Well, currently we have approximately 60 type of decors.
That's a lot.
You can see here in the background our sample wall showing a lot of our colors and decors. So this is actually a good opportunity to explain the different ranges of stones which we're producing. So at the top we start off with slates. So these are all slates as you know them probably from the market, varying from African slates, Spanish slates or European slates, up to Indian slates. In the second row, we have the micas or quartzite stones, which are also layered stones. So you can see with the lighting that they have a slight shine to them. This is due to the mica in the stone itself. Behind our translucent panel here, we also have some limestones which we have in our range. Those have also been possible for a few years now. And the newest range, or the newest ranges actually, are the sandstones and the marbles, which have come up in the past couple of years, which of course require additional processing, which is not as simple as producing the Slate Lite.
So where do you use Slate Lite?
Slate Lite can practically be used anywhere. So, I mean, it's a very broad range, I know, but you can use it from flooring to interior walls, showers, bathroom areas, up until exterior. There's projects on roofing which have been done with Slate Lite. A lot of exterior cladding has been done with Slate Lite. So really, the range is extremely broad, and there's very few areas where you actually cannot use it.
Yeah, I think it also depends on what type of slate light or what type of stone you use in which area.
Definitely.
For example, we don't like to use a limestone in different type of wet areas, and so yeah. The ultra thin, can it also be used everywhere?
No, the ultra thin, like I shortly explained at the beginning, is not used in all types of areas. So it's a very, very thin product, prone to, for example, if you use it on flooring, to wear very quickly. So the ultra thin is recommended mainly for interior walls, which are dry, so not wet areas or in direct contact with water or high humidity. A lot of furniture is being produced with ultra thin, 3D panels. So that's the main direction which ultra thin Eco Plus goes into.
So you think it would be right to say that ultra thin Eco Plus stones can be used more for creative ideas like furniture or inside walls. Yeah, I also seen it a lot to be used on old furniture to maybe fix it up a little bit, make it look upgraded. Yeah, that's actually really cool because the possibilities are. There are a lot of possibilities to use it. Also, because it's so flexible, I think that you can use it in round areas. You can use it, if you want stone somewhere. You know, stone is hard, so you have to have something that's flexible if you want a stone somewhere where normally you couldn't put any.
Rounded area.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So, how would you use it? Like, how would you put the material on?
I mean, application is done through gluing.
Yeah.
So depending on, I mean, I would start from step one and go through to the final steps. So first of all, I think the most important, or one of the most important things in processing Slate Lite is cutting of Slate Lite. So I'll show you right now how Slate Lite can be cut.
Let's cut some Slate Lite.
So we've prepared a small sample here. So because our space is a bit smaller, I haven't gotten a circular saw, which I would usually use to cut the Slate Lite. So what I'm doing now is I have a smaller piece of Slate Lite, A4. So you see, it's the same material.
These are our regular samples.
Exactly. Yeah. And a multi-tool. So just a vibrating tool.
So if I don't have a multi-tool, what else could I use to cut this?
Well, you can use a circular saw. You could even use metal shears if you would like. You can use jigsaw, band saw. So really depending on what you require or what your processing requires, you can use almost any woodworking tools.
And the ultra thin is what can you cut that with? Because I don't think you need to use a saw for that,
no,
right?
Actually, the ultra thin, that's funny that you're mentioning it. It can really be cut with a standard carpet knife. So you just flip it over to the back side, cut through it. As soon as you've gotten through the cotton, then you practically have your cut finished.
Which is really cool for handcrafting, DIY projects, and at home working if you're not a handyman.
True.
Yeah.
100%.
All right.
So I'll show you the quick cut now. Actually, one thing before I get started, I prefer to cut from the back side, but it actually doesn't matter if you cut from the front or the back side. So depending on your preference.
Done already?
Done already, yes.
That was really quick, actually.
So here you can see, very quick, simple cut, done. Just
also very straight, because you did not use any help for that.
No, in this case I didn't. Usually if it's a longer cut, I would definitely use a profile to cut along.
All right. But actually, you said that you like to start cutting on the back side, which I also think is very cool because you can like draw on it, whatever you want to cut, and just cut it out. Like, yeah.
One important thing to remember while cutting from the back side, of course, is that everything is mirrored. So you have to think the other way around.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That would probably be a mistake I would make, yes. Yeah, cool. So, do we have any questions?
No.
All right, that's sad. No, maybe not because we're explaining everything so well, so that's why we're not getting any. If I would like to glue this to my bathroom or to my living room wall, what type of glue would you use?
Well, we have quite a few glues or adhesives in our range. We'll also take this sample piece which I just cut and glue it just now. Okay. So our main glues for the Slate Lite range are polymer adhesives. We have our Slate Lite Extreme, which is really the strongest adhesive which we have in our range. It's MS polymer based, and you can use it practically for any application, in wet areas, on floors, exterior cladding. So all these areas are suitable for the Extreme in combination with the Slate Lite.
So how do I know what glue to use?
Well, it really depends on the area, which your area of usage. So we have a alternative adhesive, which is the Slate Lite Floor and Wall. That's a glue which is suitable for floors and dry walls. And then we have the Slate Lite Extreme adhesive, and that is suitable practically for everyone. It's a bit more higher in cost, but it's worth it.
Okay, I understand. Would you use the same glue also for the ultra thin, or is there a special glue for that since it's cotton?
Right. No, the ultra thin actually, as well as the translucent, do have different types of glues which we would use. The ultra thin would be glued with a contact adhesive, and the translucent would be glued as well with a MS polymer adhesive, but a transparent version, of course, to ensure that you can still backlight.
Yes. Okay. So let's start to glue.
Exactly.
Maybe we can just.
Now, here again, you can decide yourself where you would like to apply the glue. If you want to apply it to the surface or to the backing of the material. Different appliers have their different preferences, so definitely just do what you're used to.
Okay. So what is this?
So this is a cartridge gun. It's an electric cartridge gun in this case. It does really make the processing much more simple. So inside we have one of our glues, which is the floor and wall.
Okay, do these
It comes in a sausage.
Yeah, do these fit in all cartridge guns?
No, they don't.
Okay.
So you need a 600 ml cartridge gun to fit this sausage. There we go. This adhesive itself is beige. And you'll see now
Gonna put everywhere a little bit.
I apply around, or roughly apply it first. And then I'll take my B3 trowel and spread the adhesive, stay about a centimeter, half a centimeter away from the edge.
Why? Are you not gonna glue the edges?
Well, once you apply the material, the edges actually, you'll press the material onto the surface and the edges will also be glued because the glue will spread.
Oh, yes, of course, and you don't want it to come out of the sides, which is why you leave a little bit of room.
Right. So now you see here I have much too much adhesive in this case.
So how long does it take till it dries?
Well, the full hardening of the adhesive actually will take around 24 hours.
Okay.
It's also a little bit dependent on the temperature in the area which you're doing the application. So, one moment. I see I missed a spot. There we go. And now, the only thing you have left to do is apply the material, press it on. If you have a rubber roller or similar tool to press it onto the surface, it's also not a bad idea.
Yeah, it would be helpful, of course, in bigger sized slate lights, not to use a roller
Exactly.
rather than your hands, because you have a lot of space to press down.
Exactly. So here you'll see it's 100% on the wooden board in the back. Oh my gosh, now I've made a mess. I can't believe it. Oh.
Okay, that's not really good. How do you get this glue off of that natural stone?
Of course, that's not a problem.
Yeah, not with Slate Lite, no.
Well, we have a solution for a lot of the problems which we have come across along the years. And of course, this is one which happens quite often. So first of all, what I would recommend is usually if the adhesive is such a thick layer, then leave it overnight and peel it off the next day.
Does it get rubbery so you can just take it off?
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's pretty rubbery, so you can pull most of it off. There will be some residue left over, and we'll show you what you can do with the residue in a moment.
Okay. So, but if you wiped it already and it's just like smudged on there, I think you need to take it off directly, right?
Exactly,
which would be easier.
Definitely. 100%, because then you won't be able to pull the mass of the adhesive off.
Yeah.
It will get caught under the shale of the stone. And yeah.
Probably won't look good afterwards. Exactly. So what are you doing there?
So
it's just a
dry off. It's a dry cloth.
Okay.
I'm just wiping off the excess material. So you can see now it's only a very thin layer left over.
Yeah, but that's a really ugly spot now.
It definitely is.
So you don't want that.
Definitely is. So now I will take our special cleaner, which is a solvent-based product. I wouldn't recommend doing this with acetone or a nitro thinner or something like that, because it can leave ugly stains or like a frame around the area which you've been using it on. Okay. So what I usually do is I apply it to the cloth, and then I start wiping.
So you're really rubbing the product in and off at the same time. Okay.
So,
What happens if I ordered Slate Lite and glued it down and I forgot to buy this?
well, you can just contact us and we can send it in a small parcel afterwards. Because, like I said, it's a product which we've really thoroughly tested. We've tested around 100 different solvent-based products to clean the glue residue.
Mm-hmm.
And this was really one of the only ones which worked satisfactory.
Okay. That's good.
Okay.
Does this last forever?
Yeah, it will last for a very, very long time.
So-
I don't think you'll have any issues with.
Okay. So it would be a good idea to order this with the Slate Lite directly, even if you're watching out, because can you use it afterwards for other stains?
Definitely. I mean, you
Okay.
can use it for other stains as well. I would always do a test in advance to make sure that you don't start cleaning a surface which then gets stained through it.
Okay.
But you can definitely use it also on ceramic tiles and things like this.
Okay. That's really cool.
So we have a question. Can you use Slate Lite in a shower? Yes, you can. Slate Lite is actually very often processed in a shower.
Yes.
You can apply it directly onto existing tiles. It's very, very simple to process it for renovation purposes, but also in new construction sites. So what you have to be aware of is that there are norms which you have to keep in mind. And Slate Lite, even though it is not water vapor permeable, which means no moisture can go through it in either direction, it's not a certified product to keep water from penetrating through.
Okay, but I think also next time we'll have a live event talking about Slate Lite in wet areas and shower areas. And
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about this, you can either write us or you can come into our next live event where we'll show how everything is done.
Great. Okay.
So as we just saw, we had a really ugly spot on Slate Lite and we had to remove it. And so how do I protect Slate Lite from even getting dark spots or maybe getting dirty?
Well, as explained at the beginning, Slate Lite is a natural stone. So the surface should be treated like a natural stone. Any slate, marble, granite, sandstone will stain with the right component on top of it.
Okay.
So, I mean, very often you'll notice your marble tabletop has wine stains or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it wasn't sealed properly. So we have a range of different sealers and impregnators, which you can see practically also the color differences here.
Oh, so how come this one is so dark?
So yeah, I'll get started here on this side. On this side.
Yes.
We start actually, what I'm doing now is starting from very slight protection up to the strongest protection or the stronger variations of protection.
Okay.
So on the right side all the way, it is not sealed. So this is a completely non-protected surface. Starting here, we have a impregnator, which is also practically the slightest amount of color change towards the original.
Mm-hmm.
This is a water-based impregnator, which actually
here we have another Decors. Maybe you can see.
Yeah, very simple to apply. We've had this in our range for quite a long time, and it is a good protection for areas like walls, which are not frequently touched and things like this. The second position would be the Slate Lite Special Protection, which is a nano impregnator sealer cross. This will, with multiple applications, be a fairly strong protection, which will not protect from scratching, but it will protect from staining.
Okay.
After that, we have the 2K wall protection. The 2K stands for two component. Usually, two-component products are much stronger. In this case, both our final products are polyurethane based and have a very, very strong scratch resistancy as well as stain resistancy. The 2K wall product is actually the product which we recommend mainly for wet areas, for backsplashes in kitchens. So if there's a bit of oil which gets sprayed onto it, hot oil from cooking or something like that, then you won't have issues with the surface of this material. You can just wipe it off. The final sealer here is the 2K floor sealer, which actually we have replaced meanwhile. So now we have here the Extreme Protection, Slate Lite Extreme Protection, which is actually 3 components. That doesn't mean it's 3 components which are mixed together. It means it's 3 components in total. One is put or applied as a primer. After 3 hours, you apply the 2-component sealer on the surface. So this actually we found to be the least color changing of all the sealer products which we have in our range, which of course gives you the advantage that the stone stays as natural as possible, but still the option to take, for example, the 2K wall if you want some darkening in the product.
Okay.
So now we can show you quickly how this product actually works, or how the products actually work. We have some Fanta. Cheers. No. So we'll do from non-protected up to the strongest protections. I'll just pour this on the surface.
Oh, you can really see that it just pearls off here, kind of. It stays on a little, but nothing in compared to the unprotected rock. It really sucks up all the wetness.
So slate is a porous stone, so it does absorb a lot of moisture.
Mm-hmm.
So here you'll see at the surface you have a lot of moisture absorption, and step by step it becomes less and less.
Mm-hmm.
Now this surface will be fairly difficult to clean if it's not protected. This already, if I wipe it directly, then I will get it clean very quickly and very simply. If I wait too long though, the impregnator will not be strong enough to permanently protect the material. The pearl protection can handle a little bit longer without cleaning, so I would say around 24 hours isn't a problem here, but the more time the component has to penetrate into the material, the more difficult it gets for the material to protect the stone. And then going on to the final 2 products, these shouldn't have any problem with the moisture, with liquids on top of them at all, as you can see here. So actually now I'll take the cloth one more time. And
is it still the dry cloth with no...
It's still the dry cloth. So you see here, there's no cleaner on it. It's not the area I used. So starting at the top.
Oh, it's not coming off at all. It's staying with, yeah.
Exactly. And usually you'll notice within a few minutes if it's going to dry away completely without staining or if it will leave a stain.
Okay. If I were to clean that stained area with the special cleaner, would it work?
It won't necessarily work. It really depends on the component which is applied.
Okay.
We do also have further products which can be used. In the case of oil stains, unfortunately not here. We do have a product which is specially for that. It's a paste which is applied, and after the application, you have to leave time for it to dry. And after drying, you can just sweep it off, and the stain is magically gone.
Oh, so it sucks up the oil.
Exactly.
And
Yes,
all right,
yes.
I understand. Just like the Slate Lite did in the first place. Okay. Yeah, which is actually that's really helpful. So if I were not to impregnate or seal my Slate Lite, it would be a problem getting it off.
It would be more difficult. It would make life more of a hassle.
Okay,
Definitely.
okay, I understand. Yeah. Good. So, yeah, we have a lot of sealants. We showed we showed our most hyped glue, most used glue also. Um, yeah. So you now have time to ask us some questions before we come to an end.
Well, I think we did too good of explaining.
Yeah, I think so too. I asked
Yeah.
all the questions.
Well, exactly. Well,
yeah.
feel free if you have any questions just to write under the post of this live chat or live video, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
You can of course always call us, write us an email. We also have a live chat over our website, which you can also, if you visit our website, you will see a WhatsApp button too. You can WhatsApp us, so please don't hesitate to ask.
Great.
Yeah, that was it for today. Yeah.
So I'd just like to mention one more time that we will have regular lives on Facebook and Instagram within the next month. And the key is really to teach all different steps or all different types of application, which areas, go more specifically into application areas. So for the next video, if you're interested, we will be more keen on the bathroom area and processing of Slate Lite on top of existing tiles. Because that's a very, very frequent question which we get, if it's possible, how to do it, if so, and it is possible, and we can teach you how.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
It was great to talk, and
yeah,
hope
until
to see you
next time. Yeah, bye.